What I've learned about the past of SCTNow is that it became an enormous effort very quickly. And really due to key people, I haven't met everybody on the phone yet, obviously, but due to the key volunteers in lots of cities and college campuses, SCTNow was more than a splash. It started to make a huge impact, to build awareness, to educate people, and really help to make a mark very quickly in the issue of slavery and helping to stop demand. I learned a lot about the walks, how they worked, what was good about them, what was not so positive or struggling in different areas. I also have become friends with the people that SCTNow worked with on really stopping the demand and talking to them about what happened, and that was really a strong education point as well. Learning from what happened and how you move forward is the way to build strength, and I'm not really in a position to talk about all the details of the past, but I really tried to embrace all of those things and then ask the question to increase our impact and our influence and to take this to the next level. What are the things that we need to do? So I said, well, let's start with the perceived gaps. Let's solve the issue of making sure that every time money is raised, everybody knows where it is, where it goes, and what happens to it. And then let's find out what people are already doing and start collaborating with them and getting behind them and putting whatever muscle we have to the incredibly good things that are already happening. And so I called together a group of advisors, business people, executives, some not-for-profit people, pastors from churches, business guys, and kind of laid this out before them and said, if you were to build a national organization that was going to touch every city in America, and you were going to do it in a way that was very strong with collaboration and that built community and that helped people do not just frequent events, but to build a movement in their own community, what would you do? And so I've been in many conversations. One guy, his name is Skip, he lives in L.A. He meets with 300 different community centers, churches, and police officers in the L.A. basin. They meet every month on this issue. Other people who have huge operations in rescuing people who've donated 50-acre ranches, people who have put up extraordinary amounts of time and energy to develop curriculum that can be placed in schools on the prevention side. So all kinds of good ideas have been bubbling up. And what I have felt is important to focus on in the next step is to be completely transparent financially, to be collaborative in building what's happening in so many different areas, and use the background and experience of SCTNow to strengthen what happens, and then to provide world-class coaching and to have people who have done this before, who have built things, organizations who are doing things excellent in stopping demand, to have them provide resources, forums, conversations that will help us do things. So a couple weeks ago, I went to Flint, Michigan to be with a friend of mine who pastors a church there, and he had expressed interest in what we were doing in Nepal and had supported that financially through his church. He found out a little bit about SCTNow. He said, can I pull some people together in Flint? I said, sure. Went up there to the lunch. I really didn't do my homework like I should. I didn't know that last July, Flint was the center point of a major FBI breakthrough where they had arrested 10 people in Flint who were head of a trafficking ring, and a nationwide effort was underway for months and years, and the whole ring was busted last July. So I sat down next to a wonderful lady who was the Michigan State Chairman to deal with trafficking issue and head of the Women's Commission, and people who were expert counselors, pastors, other leaders, and they basically said, okay, how do we end this? This is more than a walk. This is more than just doing something on the internet. This is our town, and we have to kind of draw a circle around our town, and we have to empower every single person in our town, in our schools. And then they told me this amazing story of this high school girl and what happened to her, how she was drugged, taken to a crack house, came from a really strong family, lured by the internet, the kind of story that we've heard over and over and over. And they basically said, we don't want this to happen anymore in our town, and we want SCTNow to help us. And so what can you do? This is not just about an awareness campaign. This is not just about a walk. This is not just about stopping demand. This is about ending the whole thing in our town. That's a pretty big request. But I think answering that question with a yes is the direction, the responsibility that SCTNow is supposed to go. And so I talked to them about this idea that we're just starting to roll out, and it has to do around the word empower, to get the people in the community who can stop demand, who can mobilize local volunteers, who can do things preventatively, who can build safe houses, kind of the whole gamut, to pull them together, to provide expert coaching, consultation, build a community, help them to raise money so that community by community, we're empowering a movement that ends trafficking.